And we are live. Welcome, everybody. My name's Isaac. I am the co-founder of Pet Summits and the host of the Pet Care Report. The mission of this show is to connect pet parents with some of the world's leading pet experts and brands to discover the latest trends, innovations, and essential pet products for optimal pet care. Today, we're very excited to have on episode 7 of the Pet Care Report a very special guest. Jason Donas, who was also a guest speaker at the recently Detox Summit. Jason is a former Army intelligence officer, a lifelong health researcher and enthusiast, and is the founder / CEO of Venjenz and Venjenz K9. He is an entrepreneurial spirit with a creative mind and knack for communication, and is passionate about educating others and alternative ways for healthy, best care for themselves and their dogs. Welcome, Jason.
Hey, Isaac, how are you? That was a
Yeah,
nice
very
intro.
well. I got it out eventually, so yeah.
That's a mouthful. We gotta shorten that maybe.
So thank you so much today for coming on. We're very fortunate to have you on the Senior Dog Summit and on the Detox Summit. And I guess one of the reasons today is going back to what our mission is to help pet parents get educated, and what are the latest trends and innovations about the central products. And so I think just the first question I'll ask you, just to kick this off, is why did you create Venjenz, and what was the story behind you creating
it? So I got out of the military a few years ago, and it was at a time when I had just lost a dog. One died 2 years sooner than that. And just based on what I did with the military, I wanted to evaluate, both government and civilian opportunities. So I just thought long and hard. And at that time, I had a young dog that unfortunately was dying. My two previous dogs lived long, healthy lives. Both of them were somewhere between, 13 and 15 when they passed away. This dog, unfortunately, was three and a half when he was diagnosed with lymphatic cancer. And, I actually sought some spiritual advice on that. And this person that I used said, what you want to do. Because I was really torn. I made a lifestyle choice. Ultimately, that's what it came down to. I did not want to spend, 90 minutes in the car commuting to work, getting my kid on a wait list, to get into a decent school. This was definitely a lifestyle choice. And I was watching my dog die, and that really, after losing two other ones, seeing firsthand that there are no options for dogs when you go the allopathic route. They typically say one of three things: surgery and chemo, or chemo and radiation, one of the combination of those, right? I don't believe in any of those. And I said, there are answers out there. And we are now learning that that's very true. And it's that they were repressed. They were hidden from us. So I experimented and I did my best. But what I didn't do properly to help my dog live longer was dose properly. And so what I mean by that, I'll touch on. I decided to get into the business I'm in now, nutritional supplementation, to fill a void. And that void is to give real answers to people that have life-threatening or their pets have life-threatening illnesses and are told the same tired, broken, failed options. Okay. And I was done with that. I wanted to give people a real hope. And so I said, all right, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I know what products I'm going to sell, and I know how I'm going to produce them. So I've committed myself to that path. And it's not an easy path because you're self-financed, and you have to educate people on why they, need to do certain things. You have to educate people on what your products are. And then, from there, you want to make sure that you tell people why yours are different. So the key to our business, Isaac, is knowledge. That's it. It's not the products we sell. People can go a lot of places for products, but what we really do is we stake our reputation on our knowledge. And then secondly, It's our commitment to the process of our products, where we source them, how we make them. Those are our unique differentiators. So I committed to this path, and my partner, or one of our co-founders, I should say, Dr. Will Falconer, is known around the world for being one of the first homeopathic veterinarians. He's an absolute trailblazer. He's a close friend. He's an advisor. And our other co-founder, Dr. Scott Treadway, who is a trailblazer in his own right, who cured his wife of cancer in the early 80s. Okay. He's a master herbalist and a formulator, and we formed the single best supplement company in the world. And that's a bold statement, and I'm okay being a cannonball in the water. As I said, you know what? If we're going to do this, we're going to do it better, and we're going to offer things that just aren't offered. And we did that. So
how did you do that? Was that the formulating, and like was that with Will?
Yeah. Right. So, it's funny. We actually stumbled into the pet market. My goal was to go into the human market. I said, we're going to go into the human market. I know that's what I want to do. And Will said, hey, hang on a second. We ought to check this out. We're going to fill a void. And I said, okay, look, I'm going to follow the path the universe cut. And we did that. And we put out these products. And the reason that I agreed to do it this way is because we're different from others in about 7 or 8 different ways. But first and foremost, you may know this, but not everybody does. In the pet world, in the supplement world, there are no standards.
Yeah.
I know certain competitors of ours, kidding aside, that produce their product in the back of their office, in a garage, in warehouses, in basements. It's unbelievable. When we put on our product that we make human quality, human grade supplements, it's because we actually produce them in an FDA compliant human lab that gets shut down twice a year for cleaning and inspection. Okay. The second differentiator that we have is something called our micronization process, where we use a nanotechnology that has previously only been used in pharmaceuticals.
What's nanotechnology?
Well, nanotechnology for some companies is a play on words. Well, they'll say, "Oh, we use nanotechnology," and what they do is they microfilter it. That's a play on words, and they get away with it because they can. All right. What we do, we break it down on a molecular level and filter it. So ours is extremely clean, naturally sourced, synthetic-free, non-GMO. And it's 100% bioavailable. And that's the equivalent of an intravenous.
And what does so for the people out there, can you just go a little bit when you say bioavailable, can you just elaborate?
Yeah.
I think that is quite an important component to any type of ingredients. Is it bioavailable?
So that means your body can use it.
Yeah.
All right. So why is that important? It's important because two things that we have as human beings in the 21st century are compromised immune systems, compromised digestive tracts by design. Okay? By design. The broken allopathic medical matrix that you can read about in our free ebook, if you go to venjenz.com, paragraph 2 of the opening page will tell you that. It'll tell you why. So we said, if you were to go and buy, any supplement, like this is a human supplement. If you were to go and buy a human supplement, pay $40 for it, you have a compromised immune system, you might get $5 of that. You're not going to get the exact penny that you paid for it, because everyone has a compromised immune system. Unless you've gone through a painstaking detox, certain fasting. There's ways you can do it, but it's not easy. The point is, you're not getting every penny worth. The reason we have to nutritionally supplement these days is because we don't get what we need from our food, right? And that's because not only do we have compromised digestive tracts, but the soil is degraded. Okay, the quality of the crops you're eating, they're GMO foods in many instances. Not everybody can afford organic. So your food almost has no nutritional quality. So we supplement to, fill that need. If your supplements also suck, that's not helping. So we said we're going to bypass the digestive tract. So we broke our products down on a molecular level. Okay, on a cellular level, they can be absorbed through the mucous membranes of the mouth. They go to work instantly. Whereas an outdated powder or capsule or pill that has to pass through your digestive tract, you're getting a small fraction of whatever you put into your body, which means you're overpaying for your supplement. You're getting a fraction of the results. And you know what? It doesn't work. The people who use our products, our success is in our testimonials, and we're going to have those on our website within the week because we have a brand new website. So we committed to this, and just having, come from the background I did, making sure you dot your I's, cross your T's. I said, I'll commit to this if we can be the best. I don't want to rebrand somebody else's product. I don't want a white label. I don't want the same failed, powders and pills that promise something and, you don't get it. So we have an incredibly potent processing. And we go through this so that people get those results. And it takes very expensive equipment to do so, which is why we're one of the only ones in the world that do it, other than pharmacy or big pharma, I should say. So we offer these whole food source, non-GMO products. We offer rare ingredients, and we do it using our patented process, our patented micronization process. And the results that people and their animals get are within weeks. I mean, you can see them. Someone with a joint problem. I had a woman who was taking our detox product who actually had success getting rid of both varicose veins and spider veins. Okay. It was incredible. Results that you just wouldn't know, that toxins, problems that toxins cause that you just don't even know about until you start detoxing properly. So that's why we committed to this path, because we wanted to do it better. We wanted to give people real answers. And I just got tired of trying products that promise one thing but just didn't deliver any results. And most importantly, I was motivated after seeing my dogs die, after a vet telling me my dog had 6 months to live, and we can try chemo. And I looked at the vet and I said, "You've been practicing 22 years. How many times have you cured a dog of cancer?" And he looked at me and he smiled and he said, "None." And I said, okay. So I went home. I used my product. And it was back before I started my company, it was a synthetic version, because we have whole food sourced ingredients. The one I was using at the time was synthetic. I used that, some essential oils, raw diet. And my dog, who had a 6-month death sentence because it was an aggressive form of mouth cancer, lived 3 years past that. And, eventually died as a combination of old age and, fighting the cancer took its toll also. But we had so much success with these products. It can be done. You are being lied to. Okay. The matrix is broken, and I'm happy to be the one to expose it.
Yeah. And when you were talking a little bit about your detox product, I guess that comes into my next question is, when we talk about detox for pets in particular, because that's what we are, is, why should pet parents be aware of this, and why is this important? Because I noticed that when we were doing the detox summit, when we were running ads to get people to come enjoy the summit, we were having a lot of people say, "Oh, my dog doesn't need detox." And in the human space, because we used to be in the human space, and that worked really, really well. People were like, "Yes, I know, I need to get a detox." But we were having so many people coming back. I was like, "My dog doesn't need a detox." So, can you go into a little bit about this? Why is this so important for pet parents to know why detox is important?
That's really easy. Okay. Let me start this by telling you about natural rearing. Have you heard of that? Natural rearing breeders. Natural rearing breeders do not use pharmaceuticals, unnecessary diagnostics. They don't blanketly vaccinate. And in order to actually receive a puppy, in reference to like a puppy litter, in order for that to be categorized as naturally reared puppy, it takes 2 to 3 generations in order to get all of the toxins out. So we are born with toxins. They're passed down in your DNA or DNA by design. Okay, so you inherit toxins. When people say, "Oh, I inherited that disease from my family," it could be caused by the same toxin that you inherited. Okay. Secondly, you are injected with vaccines that have toxins, pharmaceutical toxins in them. If that's too touchy of a subject for people, then they are probably listening to the wrong guy. Because I will tell you with evidence that there are heavy metals such as graphene oxide, aluminum, and other things that are in these vaccines that you do want to detox. Fluoride in drinking water, in toothpaste, heavy metals, toxins. The glyphosate that is in weed killer. All right. It amazes me. I had 2 customers reach out this week who were complaining about their neighbors using it, saying, "Don't worry about that stuff. It's not deadly. You're paranoid." And I said, there are entire law firms dedicated to class action lawsuits suing people that use glyphosate. Okay. People are dying horrible deaths from it. So why do you need to detox yourself or your dog? Because number one, it's in the food, air, and water. There's heavy metals, there's industrial, agricultural toxins, pharmaceutical toxins, environmental toxins. Okay. Food, air, and water. Those are the ways they get into your body or inheriting them. That's why. Now, why does your dog need to do it? Your dog is closer to the ground. We don't lick our shoes when we come home, do we? But the dogs do. Okay. Secondly, they pick it up. It's on their fur. How do dogs clean themselves? With their mouth. It's always going in their mouth, right? Third, dogs have a much faster uptake than humans. We were talking about bioavailability earlier. Dogs have a much faster uptake than humans. So they live a shorter life. Everything impacts them much quicker. So why do you need to detox your dog? Because they're getting it in a very direct way, and they receive it more powerfully than you do. So it's deadlier to them.
I remember the first interview we ever did with Dr. Dee Blanco, who was the host of our Holistic Dog Care Summit. And she was her interview on our very first summit was about was about toxins in the environment. And there were so many things that I'm just like, oh my God, like the tennis ball, that's like, dogs loving tennis balls, right? So, and that's just a lot of this stuff was just like really made sense, but just didn't really think about it. So, like the tennis ball and the couches and like everything around our house. And like you said, like they're lower to the ground. They're constantly walking in, they're constantly breathing it, they're constantly licking their paws. So then when they're walking in the grass, they're stuck in this, so they're just more exposed to these environmental toxins, or even just like toxins that are around the house. And I think Dee's got like a little booklet on her site where you can just like, little short quick fixes to remove these like small toxins. And cleaning products like we use, like everything in the house that we use is like environmental friendly, but if you
could make your own cleaning product.
You can make your own with vinegar. You
can make your own with colloidal silver, with vinegar, with thieves, with essential oils. You can use frequencyed water to clean. Okay. In Korea, they use frequencyed water to clean their medical facilities. Because
what's frequency water? Like, I've never heard of that before.
I mean, that's a really good topic that you should get into someone who's a specialist at, but I'll give you my answer because I own one of the filters. It essentially passes the water through a computer, for lack of a better description, that programs a frequency into it. And if people don't believe that can happen, all you have to do is look up charged water, because you could actually make charged water by just going into a creek or a river, bringing actually, if you were to get a big box or build a wooden crate, put a 5-gallon water jug in it, fill it with water, pack it with rocks that you got in the creek, and let it there. See what happens. Many people have tried that, and it's like an electrical charge. I've actually read about people who drank that water and vomited because of the toxins in their body. All right, so this computer really does that. Okay, it programs frequencies that could kill off pathogens. So when I go to the grocery store and bring home food, I clean off the viral pathogens. When I get people who even buy organic, you can still clean off the pathogens that would give you a virus, right, or a bacteria.
Yeah, that's I've gone to this thing which is, I think it's called like a biohacker, and it's the same sort of thing where it's you're in a room, and it sets off a different types of frequency depending on what type of illness that you have or sickness, and yeah, I've noticed it sounds like a very, very similar thing to that.
It is, and one thing also that I want to say about detoxing: people who don't feed raw are doing their dog a disservice. Period. And you're going to have people that are always the exception to the rule, saying, "But my vet said, but my vet said, but my vet said." Let me ask you something. That same vet, do they sell scientifically, beneficial diet? Is that, not only that, I mean, I know there's a rare exception, there's always a rare exception. But the point is, that's the single most important thing you can do for your dog. You feed raw. If you can't feed raw, you definitely want to detox. Okay. Even if you feed raw, you want to detox. Even if your animal is naturally reared, you want to detox. Do you need to do all of those consistently year round? Now you can do targeted, warmer months where they're more active, where crops are growing and they're spraying to kill weeds. That's, if there's a reason, you can do targeted detoxes. But let me give you one example. If you live in the northeastern part of the United States where there's Lyme disease people believe it's caused by ticks. But the point is, if people have a dog in the Northeast, north of the 42nd parallel, and they, have a tick problem, we had a customer write us last year, and I was on Dr. Falconer's podcast, and we discussed this. This woman said, "You know what? We live in Maine. My dogs always have a tick problem. I'm always pulling ticks off of them." We started giving the dogs your product, and we started feeding raw. And they said, "You know what? We stopped having a tick problem." And Will's answer to them was that parasites will feed on unhealthy organisms. Okay. In humans, they are actually they feed on the heavy metals that are in the vaccines you take.
That's interesting.
Okay? So
damn mosquitoes and in Australia, it's probably why they're always getting me.
Exactly. That's the truth. So, the point is, there's a lot that people don't know. And, people like yourself who have interviews and talk to people like me, it's our job to, shine some light on those facts for people to help them out.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And a lot of this stuff is like really simple to do. It's just, we just don't really know about it or where to start.
No, Isaac, that's a great point. Honestly, I always tell people there are natural ways you can do detoxes. You don't need to buy my product. The reason I have my product is to make it easy on you, because it's not always practical to do those detoxes, especially for pets. But what makes our detox even, more powerful for both people and animals is our, micronization process. You're getting 100% of it. And I always tell people to start slowly,
and that's well, that's going to be my next question is like, how can Venjenz detox products help our pets and ourselves? And what's the main difference between your products and the other products in the market?
So people play on words in the supplement industry. Okay. They'll say, like I discussed before, nanotechnology, when it's really microfiltering. And if you did a little bit of research on some of the people who sell those products, that's all it is. When the product shows up, what is it in? What is it housed in? What kind of vessel? We pay extra to make sure that ours are glass. That comes in a glass pipette. Okay. It's not sitting in plastic. That leaches the more toxins from the plastic. Okay. We don't manufacture our zeolite. We naturally source it. We clean it. Okay. And then why else is because, honestly, why would you want to buy something that is synthetically replicated? That's how pharmacy, the business of big pharma, was born. It was to synthetically replicate things that they couldn't patent in nature. So why wouldn't you just want something that's naturally occurring, that keeps its sacred geometry intact, that has no side effects, that comes in glass bottles? We pay attention to the details. There's no better product on the market for people or for animals than the ones we produce. I could guarantee it. Those people should be the ones trying to prove themselves. Our product is without a doubt the finest in the world.
And we just had someone show a coupon code. So if anyone out there is watching, here's a coupon code for people
Good
to buy. Site. Here's the site as well. We'll also leave this in the
at the end. One thing I wanted
this as well.
I wanted to tell you, Isaac, the website, because it's brand new. We're going to have it updated with testimonials and product info in the coming days. Right now, we're a really small company. We're handling a move of a warehouse, a rebranding. It's a lot to take on, because you've been talking to me behind the scenes for the last 2 months. It's a lot. It'll spread you thin, man. So bear with us. We're going to have product reviews, ingredients live on our site. We're going to have a better looking site. It's kind of dark now, but just bear with us. We're working on everything. And you're going to see a much better user experience in the next 2 weeks.
That's great to hear. I know when I first heard about you was from Dr. Ava Frick, who is she was the host of our Senior Dog Summit, talks very highly of you guys. She actually, and part of the Senior Dog Masterclass that we did, she goes into Lyme disease, and she actually contracted Lyme disease herself, and then she looked at how do I get rid of this, and there was there's lots of different ways, and so, well, first of all, how did you contract it? And it's like the water that was, I'm pretty sure she was saying it was because of the water that was that she was consuming in her local area. And then she started diving into this is like being a veterinarian, how many cases that she sees, and like you said, it's like most people think it's a tick disease, but it can be caused by a lot of
there are certain things that you could actually have put into your body to trigger this disease. The tick is the thing that's triggering it. So is it a vector borne? Yeah, I think there's a lot of shit out there that you'll find that things will come to light. They're starting to now, and you have to do some research on your own. People need to get active. They need to be proactive, not reactive. And that's the problem, with current allopathic care. They're being reactive. They're treating symptoms. Okay. They're not being proactive and trying to cut these problems off at the pass.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why we started, Pet Summits is, like anything. When you are becoming reactive, you're playing catch up, and when you're playing catch up, there's a lot more to do, and sometimes it can be a little bit. We know our dogs, and which is why detoxing is such important, not only for our pets, for ourselves as well. It's just you want to get ahead of the ball, and there's so many different things.
Well, you know what? Here's something that you want to keep in mind, Isaac. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but the one thing you want to keep in mind is ultimately we're looking to what? Live a healthier life, which means that our immune system needs to be functioning, right? Our endocrine system needs to be functioning properly. All of our systems do, digestive systems, all of them are taxed and impeded by toxins. So could you take one of our immune products to improve? Yeah, absolutely. But if you really want to benefit, you want to detox. So you're not, it's like taking the governor off of an engine, right? All right. You can go as fast as you want. Once you remove anything that's causing problems, you are no longer impeded. You can then support the immune system. So for both people and animals, detox, consistent, slow detox. Anything that boosts your immune system, go for it. You want to do that. That way you'll maximize your benefits. That's what you want. You want a clean engine, right? So get rid of the gunk, man, change the oil, and then you can have a better operating engine, go for your tune up and all that kind of happy horse shit. But, the reality is you really want to get rid of the toxins that slow you down, then boost the immune system. You can do it both together. I'm just saying that's why you want to do both of them.
Yeah, 100%. Because once you can be taking all the good products, and then we're talking like in the very beginning is the bioavailability. It's like, well, if you're taking all the good stuff and you got so much gunk in the body's not able to absorb it or absorb it as effectively. So detox, flush everything out, and then put in all the good stuff. I guess last, because we're coming to the end of this, I'd like, let's open up a couple of questions. To the audience, because there's a few people on, so thank you for everybody.
Yeah, I saw Angelo. I emailed him last week.
Perfect. That's
good. Angelo asked a question.
I do have someone saying that, is this something you can use on a dog without cancer as a preventative?
Yes.
I'm not too sure what she means by preventative, but there's lots of preventative things.
Yeah. Hi, Gene. That's absolutely okay. Of course. Am I going to go ahead and say it's going to solve cancer? Well, no, because the corrupt FDA and CDC would shut us down in a second. Is it going to do that? No, the point is you want to get rid of that. You want to get rid of the toxins. The whole point of it is to be a preventative.
Yeah. Okay. I got a question from Darlene. Does it help with allergies?
The immune product. Yeah.
The immune product. Okay.
Yeah, so, actually great success with it. Let me give you one quick example. Dog with hot spots. We had a dog with hot spots. We gave it the Rampart product, okay, that has the essential fatty acids, the medicinal mushrooms, the transfer factors. And yes, you will get, fairly quick results with it. I would personally, with everything, I always like to urge the detox. Do the detox slowly, add in the immune product, and you should have some really good results. We've even had incredible results helping with vaccine-induced lipomas from people. Incredible.
Yeah, right.
Once they get, we have the pictures. All of the testimonials are going to be live on our site. These are just the growing pains of a small, very few person run company. So
yeah, I know those pains. Yeah. We got a question from Mindy.
Hi, Mindy.
What are some of the side effects as dogs that we should look out for?
So with any detox, you should start slowly. That will minimize side effects. We've never had anybody come to us and say, here's a problem that we're having with your product. I haven't had one. I have heard of people who detox too quickly, and either they or their animals might get loose stools, diarrhea, whatever you want to categorize it as. But that's not a bad thing. That means your body is doing its job. The product's doing its job. But in order to avoid any kind of headaches like that, Mindy, just start really slow. I always tell people to build up to the indicated dosage over 2 weeks. 3 weeks.
From Mindy, if you haven't watched the Detox Summit, the free version's over, but there is it's still available. You can upgrade and buy the premium version, or reach out to Dr. Odette Suter or Dr. D. Blanco, specialize in detox. So they'll be able to help really help you out for that. I guess we'll have one last question, and then we'll wrap it up.
Give them two.
Give them two. All right, we'll give them two. How many times do you use detox for a healthy dog seasonally?
Okay, so people have asked me this so many times in this past week alone. I'm not saying this because I'm selling the product. I'm saying this because if your dog or you aren't naturally reared completely healthy, which is nearly impossible, you should be pretty consistent about it. Now, I tend to tell people who are on a budget, if you feel your dog was exposed to something and you want to do a targeted approach, do that. Still build up to it slowly, focus on a certain period of time, and then maybe take, a month or two off. But honestly, it's something that I do regularly for my dogs. You'll see that with any detox. It's something that you want to continue. Could you do targeted detoxes? Yeah. You could do intermittent fasting is almost, is a way that people have been dieting, for lack of a better phrase, eating And the whole point of that is for cellular autophagy, detox. They have lemonade diet. That's not a good categorization, but for people, the lemonade diet. So there are a lot of ways to detox, and you can do them targeted, but you want to be gentle and consistent with them, which is why we have the product.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for that. I guess the next thing, I did put the site up there again, and there is a detox code. There's Venjenz. I'm just going to put the site up again so people can find you. We'll also put a link in the at the end of this, so for people that are watching the replay, there will be at the bottom of the page, venjenz.com. And do you guys ship internationally? Where do you guys ship to? Is it just North America?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's familiar now with the backlog and shipping and all the games being played with the supply chain. Quite frankly, yeah, we ship everywhere. We already have customers in Canada and Australia, United States, so we're everywhere.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Thank you again so much for your time. Sorry, we got one last question. It's from Angelo. So Angelo, what is the difference?
You got to let Angelo talk.
What is the difference between zeolite and the joint from the detox product?
I'm not understanding that question. What's the difference between the zeolite and the joint from the detox product? Smaller amount. Yeah, the detox is you're getting a much more targeted, like a product that was intended to detox. Whereas with the joint, it's meant to magnify the results of the joint formula, to work in symbiosis for that. So that's a good question, Angelo.
Thank you, Angelo. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for everybody else for taking the time today.
Let me tell you.
Most importantly, thank you, Jason.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me on. And tell Angelo one other thing. The joint formula is incredible. We had people taking their dog product and had incredible results with it. So we're really proud of that. That's going to be one of our biggest sellers.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for today. And I look forward to working with you in the future as well.
Man, it's my pleasure. Yeah, take care.
All right.